It's a Mental Health Chat Monday, the new and improved version, honey. On this series, we sit down with a brand new guest every week and discuss their journey with mental illness and mental wellness. Because here on Mental Health Chat Monday, our motto is turning mental illness to mental wellness. I am your host, DDare Bionic. Thank you so much for tuning in today. You know where all of my socials are. I am at DDare Bionic on everything. It's all linked down below. It's called branding. Look it up. But that is not why we're here today. We are here to talk to and chat with one of my very closest friends, a person I've known for many, many years, incredibly talented, recent mama. Y'all don't know. And just a beautiful soul. Laurell is here today in the house.
Hi, how are you?
How are you?
I'm well.
Good.
Defined well.
Like well done, or I was at work, whenever somebody asks for a burger well done, I go, is it well, or the kitchen will be like, that's your well done. I go, but is it done well? Because I'm stupid and I've been working in a restaurant for too long. Okay, Lori, introduce yourself to the people. Let them know who you are, how we met. Tell us a little bit of your backstory.
My name is Laurell Costello. I used to go by Laurell Stevenson. I got married. So what? How long have I been married? 3 years?
Yeah.
It's starting to all blur together.
Uh-huh.
That's what it started to do. So I've been married for 3 years. Just had a baby, of course. I met Darius in high school, my sophomore year in high school. And I'm going to be real honest with you. I was just thinking about it today. I cannot remember how we met. I just feel like I've always known you.
I think if I remember correctly, all I remember about our meeting in high school was you had red hair. And that is it. I remember talking to somebody about the girl with the red hair. And yeah, it just seems like ever since then.
Did I just show up to audition? Like, I feel, because I don't know what would be the situation where we would interact with each other. I have no idea. Anyway, but I've known Darius for 12 years.
Yeah.
12 years now.
Well, maybe more than that, because I've been out of high school for 12 years. And that was my junior year, I think.
Oh, my God. So it's been a long time.
Yeah.
We've been friends for a really long time.
Very long time.
As far as backstory goes, grew up in St. Louis, lived in St. Louis my entire life, pretty much. And I'm a local artist.
Mm-hmm.
So pretty much it. And I work full time at a grocery chain. I will not tell you what grocery chain.
Don't ask. Don't ask. I said, don't ask no questions. I didn't think I could actually hit that note, but there it is.
But yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm kind of like you get what you see kind of person, I feel like, for the most part.
That's a great way to describe you. You, of all the people that I have held with me since high school, you definitely are the one that I remember being like the most just like, and here it is. Even through all the changes that I have seen you go through, like we've all gone through as we get older from high school, like you still are always like, this is who I am. Either you can get with it or get lost.
Yeah.
I love that about you.
Thanks.
I really do. Okay, I start every single one of these episodes the same way. Mental health check. How are you? Where are you at today? How is 2023 treating you so far?
I'm gonna be honest with you. So going into motherhood, even before motherhood, I was very concerned about postpartum depression because everything else I got going on. To be quite honest with you, I'm very leveled out.
Yeah?
Yes. Surprisingly, outside of like not being able to sleep, but that just kind of comes with it.
That just comes with having a baby.
Yeah, no, it does. Like, for real. Like, I less notice my insomnia.
Really?
Yeah, because now it's just sleep when you fucking can. So, like, I don't have, like, times where I'm just up.
You kind of like intermittent nap now.
Yeah. But yeah, I feel like a lot more leveled out, emotionally speaking.
Fair enough. Yeah.
I don't have too many sad days like I used to.
I love hearing that. Oh. Oh.
Like those days where you just wake up and you just, and you just like, no matter what, you can't get out of it. I rarely have those days. Yeah. And also Lydia is a huge help, which I know that's a lot to put on an infant.
But also not really, because not to say that a kid is supposed to be the thing that makes you happy, but especially wanting a child and having a child that you want so much, it definitely, I can see being serotonin.
It's a difference, okay? It's a difference, because there was a time where I didn't want a child, and I was in a position where I had a child, and it was the most terrifying thing in my life, and now it's just like way different.
Yeah.
I like her a lot. I like her so much. I like her so much.
So I'm honestly, I'll be a little candid. I was feeling a little melancholy today myself. Like having one of those, you know how you're not like really sad? You're just kind of like, meh.
Yeah.
I was having one of those days today. Like it just was like, I wasn't sad. I wasn't feeling bad, but I was like,
It could be great if the sun was out.
You know, and I'm not even a sun person. I'm not one of those like sundowners people where my mood is affected by the season.
Sun.
My depression is year round, baby. And it's honestly a lot less, it's a lot better in the winter than it is in the summer, which is completely weird. I love the wintertime. I feel so rejuvenated and relaxed, and like it could be because my birthday and like I have put so much positivity into my birthday. And in the summertime, I just can't breathe. So
it is hot.
Hot. And my allergies be clowning and pollen.
Really? Despite all of that, I still have my ghetto ass out here hiking and everything. Achoo.
No. I be at work on the patio. You need another goddamn. Eyes running. It is the worst. I hate the summertime. But, you know, maybe if I was somewhere else that wasn't St. Louis and had a nice, moderate summer and not
all the time.
Hell.
It is.
But yeah, I was feeling a little meh today. But I feel I got a lot of work done. I got some episodes edited. I got page set up. There's a Facebook page. It probably is already out by the time this episode comes out, but there's a Facebook page. Go like the Mental Health Chat Monday Facebook page. Yeah. But I'm feeling better, and I'm glad you're here. Aww. Genuinely, whenever I am in your presence, it's like really hard for me not to be happy. And I mean that from the bottom of my heart. You're really and truly one of my dearest friends. Like,
thank you.
This got unexpectedly sentimental, but that's like the truth. Because I remember all the times we had in high school, like hanging out, being in plays, and then life after high school, and like you don't keep that connection with very many people.
Not really.
No,
actually. I couldn't tell you who went to our high school. No, I'm so serious. It's so funny because like there's some key players. There's people that I remember, and then like I swear to God, like every time somebody dies, Brie and them like, you remember them?
People have been dying from high school?
Yes. Thoughts and prayers.
Thoughts and prayers. Sorry about it.
But I'm just like, I don't know who that is. I have no clue who that is. I can't remember. I can't recall. Can't place him.
Sorry to this man. I mean, same. Honestly, truly, I don't.
And it's not that I didn't have a meaningful high school experience, because I did, and I remember so much of it, but I just cannot tell you who was there.
I'm gonna be real with you. I don't remember much of high school. I blocked out a lot of high school, and not because of school, because school was like the one time I felt like I was okay. People all through my life tried to bully me, and it's like impossible to bully me.
Do you feel like there was anything traumatic happening for you at the time during high school?
Oh, absolutely. My home life was treacherous. Like, my dad being in the house, you know, we've talked about that a lot. My mom's great. I love my mom. She's my best friend. She brought me through all of that, but it was definitely home life that was like, I don't need this.
Yeah, I have like a span of my memory in middle school where for a short period of time I went to Normandy Middle, I can't remember any of it. It is insane, but I cannot remember any of it. I know I went there.
It happened. The record show.
I can't remember any of it,
Yeah.
and it blows my mind.
I'm very similar with high school. There are bits and pieces of high school it's mostly stuff with like theater and plays and like stuff that wasn't. Yeah, there's a lot of that time of my life I don't really remember.
That's wild.
Yay, trauma! So, on the topic of trauma,
Sure.
So we have kind of just discussed generally what we struggle with and go through. Have you received any diagnoses, clinical diagnoses? You don't have to go deep into it if you don't want to, but if you're comfortable, talk to me a little bit about it.
Okay, so for sure, I have depression, just general depression, PTSD. And the last time I was with my therapist, we were talking about bipolar disorder, possibly, because we were just matching things up with like attention deficit disorder. And she was just like, I don't know if it might be that. Have you thought about bipolar disorder? And I was just like, I don't know.
No, I haven't thought about it actually.
So that's something that lately we've been kind of toying with. So I can see it possibly.
How has that potential diagnosis, how has that affected kind of how you how you address the world and like relationships and life and work and
honestly, if that's something that is the case, it really doesn't bother me as much because again, I don't have extreme mood changes. So like sometimes I can have like crazy erratic behavior, but it's not like a thing that like
a constant
in my way. So like it's
like, okay,
it's a lot less noticeable than the fact that I have depression.
Yeah, they say that a lot of those things kind of go hand in hand, and I can't speak on the bipolar disorder because I don't have. I mean, at least I haven't been diagnosed, but you never know. But there's such a stigma against bipolar disorder. That's what I was about to say. And like, I really want to dead that. Again, I have not been diagnosed with it, but I know several people. I have many close friends who have been diagnosed and who function perfectly fine in life. And they do have their mania and their extreme sadness. And it's very apparent when it's happening. And it's not easy to like talk them down, but at the same time it kind of is, because you see it, you recognize it, and you're like, okay, I'm gonna let you have this. And I need to do a little bit more research on bipolar disorder.
Yeah, I have a friend and hers is very extreme. So I think what it is that when you compare it to those of that you know, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I have an aunt who struggles with bipolar disorder, and she started struggling with it when I was like 9. And I just remember what that felt like. And so, like, when my therapist suggested it, I was just like, oh no, that's not me. Could be.
Yeah. And you immediately are like, it's either a great relief or it's terrifying.
And it's terrifying. I think that's what it is for me. It's terrifying because what does that mean? What does it mean?
What does that mean for me? What does that mean for my kid? Like,
yeah, definitely. So,
now, how did you feel when you got your depression diagnosis? Was that like, feeling different? Or?
I was like, girl, tell me something I don't know.
Same.
Bitch, I've been sad. You just catching up.
You just not figuring it out. You're just not getting into it.
The PTSD, however, that was something different. I think because when you think of PTSD and you think about the PTSD, like the military, Marines, you think about like stuff like that. And I was just like,
nah,
my life ain't that traumatic. But it took me a minute to be like, okay, yeah, no, I definitely have PTSD. And things that you don't necessarily think are trauma are trauma. Mm-hmm. And calling it out was kind of just like it was a hurdle.
Yeah.
It was really a hurdle, and I still do it to this day. Like, I will be randomly just thinking about something, and then I'm just like, oh my God, that was traumatic. Like, I have to call it what it is. You're
still unlocking memories.
All the time.
Yeah.
All the time.
I've been dealing with that a little bit myself lately, with things that I didn't think traumatized me, or things that I thought maybe did traumatize me, but I had gotten over. Mm-hmm. Like, oh, okay. Cool, that's still around.
And it comes up a lot when you have kids.
Yeah.
It comes up a lot when you have kids. Like, it's so weird how it all happens. Mm-hmm. But like, sometimes she'll do something or she'll say something and my brain like switches to like the very unhealthy thinking, and then I have to be like, no. Mm-hmm. I don't want to do that.
You have to retrain brain.
Let's do something different. Not even retrain my brain, but like just the stuff that I'm used to, or the stuff that I would think I would respond to a certain way, mm-hmm. realizing that it's not the way to respond. Oh. Because somebody did it to me, type deal.
Yeah.
Or just because it's just you just know, so it's just like innate.
Yeah.
And sometimes you're just like, no. Especially when you just look in the eyes of your child. And just that alone mm-hmm. is enough.
Yeah. We talk a lot about, in the Black community specifically, breaking generational curses. And that is literally what you're talking about right now. Like that. Yes. And I love to hear it. I've had a couple of Black people on at this point. And it's wild to me how we all have very similar stories coming up. Whew. And how a lot of us had such traumatic experiences with one parent or both parents, and how we are actively working to not give our... Yeah.
However, there is like some people that are real strong and like 10 toes down in the shit. Because I know people that say they're breaking generational curses, however, they're doing the same thing.
Yes. Repeating the cycle and not realizing it.
They're doing the same things and expecting better results. Like, you're not going to tell me, like, just the discussion around spanking alone. Mm-hmm. You have all these problems, it affected you, but you still don't spank because that's just the way it is.
That's just how we grew up.
But you're not breaking any generational curses. Like, I feel like that's a whole different conversation, but...
No, it's not a whole different... Like, that's what the whole point of this is. We bring it all up, we bring it all out. There's nothing that's off limits.
But, yeah, I feel like a lot of people are really missing the mark.
Yeah. I probably will never have kids. I have come to that decision in life. Okay. I think, and I'm okay with it. And, when I was younger, I wanted kids. But now that I'm 30 and I'm happy in my relationship and my career is like at a point where it like is kind of starting to try and take off. And if I had been at where I am now, maybe 5 or 6 years ago when I was a little younger and like things by this point I was already kind of well cemented in my career, I maybe would still be kind of considering like maybe. Yeah. But
I will say the perk to wait until you're an adult to have children is that your friends are also adults, mm-hmm. and they can buy you gifts.
That is true. That is true. And get you some friends that like giving gifts. Good gifts. Not just like, oh, here's a...
girl colors, even though you got 10 of them.
Yeah. It's like, okay, give me something that I can actually use. Like... Bring some wipes, some...
A Ninja.
Listen, and I use that motherfucking Ninja. Listen, ask Ronnie. I use that Ninja almost every meal. When I made my birria tacos,
yeah,
baby, came in the clutch.
I just remember when I first got my first apartment, somebody had gifted me a Ninja, and I rolled that motherfucker till the wheels rolled.
Listen, I'm like, let me go on and get this. I want so badly to start juicing and like do just so I can use it more often, because I use it. I make a mean pesto Alfredo. Mm-hmm. We have it like on special occasions because it's real cheesy, It's really, really good, but it's like death the next day by toilet. And
you gotta get you some lactose tablets.
they don't work with that.
Oh,
they don't work. It's like 4 bags of cheese. It's like
Lord.
A whole like thing of heavy cream. It's so good. Butter. Oh, now I want it.
Why are you doing it to yourself?
Because it's good.
Okay.
It's worth it.
Okay.
But no, I want so badly to use the Ninja every morning. It's therapeutic.
It is, though. It is. I used to make smoothies every morning. That's what I would have with my Ninja.
Yep. So, moving on just a little bit. You talked a little bit about therapy. Talk to me about how therapy helped.
Oh, Lord. Saying it out loud. Acknowledging stuff that happened. And also finding a different way to speak. Not only to other people, but to myself.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Not only to other people, but to myself. And just that helped a lot. Because I would tell myself things, and my brain would tell myself things that just were not true. So learning how to teach yourself to think differently, I think makes all of the difference. It really, really does. Because there's a difference between I can't do it, I give up, and okay, well, let me try a different way.
Yeah.
Let's try a different way. So that definitely helped. Like, it really, really did. But also, like, I swear to God, sometimes, because it's hard work, it really, really is. And it does get worse before it gets better. And sometimes I'm just like, how did I stay oblivious for so long? And sometimes I kind of miss it.
Yeah.
Sometimes I kind of miss it. Sometimes I kind of miss to be able to pack away the trauma, worry about it later. Much later.
Way later.
But I'm to the point where I just gotta say it. I just gotta say it.
So talk to me a little bit. That's actually something that we've kind of talked about in a couple episodes. Some people have kind of grazed upon. But talk to me about positive self-talk. How do you get to a place where positive self-talk is the auto response, if you are in that place? If not, how do you feel like you can reach that goal? Because for me, positive self-talk has been the thing that has I have talked myself off the ledge many a time over the years. Yeah. And I have gotten to a point now where those voices do come and, it's that negative self-talk. And I'm like, no, we're not doing that today.
Yeah.
I might be whatever, blah, 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 fucked up, but I am still in control. I might feel like a piece of shit.
Yeah.
But guess what, bitch? I'm not.
My positive self-talk, it always takes form in just like, how would I describe my positive self-talk? Because like, to other people, it might not sound positive, but to me,
I feel like our positive self-talk is very similar.
That's what I'm saying. It's like, you gonna let him treat you like that?
Like, hell the fuck no.
You don't deserve that. You don't, like, that's how I kind of talk to myself. Like, I have to talk to myself like that because, like, I don't know. Sometimes I kind of believe the things that aren't true. Like, you do. But, no, my positive self-talk is, you can do this. It's not like you haven't done it before. Try to do it. At least try to do it. Like, that's the big thing right there. Is the trying. At least try to do it. You don't know how it's going to come out. You don't know.
Yeah. Trying is the hardest part. And nobody talks about how hard healing is and how much it hurts.
It does.
Like, we talk about, it's fun and kiki and haha, we're healing. Yeah, I'm doing my shadow work. I'm healing. It's great. Okay, when you're crying in the corner on a Tuesday evening because you dropped a pen because it reminded you of something from childhood and you're like, is this what healing feels like?
Yeah.
It's so magical.
It is, though, once you get to that place, especially like the place I'm at with my mom. Like, I have, like, remember having, like, during therapy, like, literal breakdowns about some of the stuff that happened growing up. and just being like, oh, like, this is who she is. This is what she did. You know, that happened. Holy shit. Because for so long, I told myself that it was normal. And not just that, but I know a lot of other Black women that have similar experiences with their mother.
Yeah, it's a very scary thing in the Black community with mothers and daughters. And
I've never understood it.
Yeah. I don't get it.
None. Because, like, I look at my daughter and I just, like...
This is a part of me. What is it?
Is she a part of me? But just, like, she's just, like... She's amazing. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
I love how genuine that was. Oh, my God.
She is. Like, she is amazing. And, like, I can't see myself looking at her the way I felt that I was looked at growing up.
Oh, my God.
It's so weird. It's so weird. What's the quote? As a woman, I get it, but as a mother, I can never understand. Mm-hmm. I can never understand it.
Yeah. I don't even know what I'm trying to say, because that just really fucked me up. Like, I couldn't imagine looking if I had a son, into my son's eyes and being like, this one, you got something out for me, don't you?
But also understand it too. Like, this is what therapy does. It makes you devil advocate all the time. Mm-hmm. You have no idea. But I also understand it too. Like, I understand, like, the pressures of having a baby that you don't want. Mm-hmm. And what that would feel like for somebody. Like, I'm not going to be like, oh, I just never. No. Babies aren't blessings to everybody. And I think we have to be completely forthcoming about that. Uh-huh. Just like pregnancy ain't for everybody.
It really is not.
And I think we gloss over it as if this glamorous thing, and you know, it's really not.
I've heard from more of my friends who have been pregnant that they had a much more difficult time with pregnancy than I have heard people be like, "Oh, my pregnancy was great." I think I know one person, and that could just be me trying to figure out who that person is, but one person who was like, my pregnancy was fabulous. It was so great. I was so beautiful. And I just, girl. Everybody else is like, this is shit. I hate this.
It's so funny because when I found out I was pregnant, I remember, was it Good People? Was I Good People, or was it Jurassic Park? It was one of those.
It was, I found out during Good People.
It was one of those. And somebody at the show was just like, oh, somebody on the other side of the room, Laurell's pregnant, you know, something like that. Because I had already told everybody.
Oh, okay. I was like, not outing you.
And like, you know, like I turned around like, yes, I am. And somebody was like, oh, you don't sound happy about it. I was like, bitch, I threw up 3 times today. I'm not happy about that. I mean, I yay, baby. Woo. Bitch, I don't feel good.
I want to skip this part.
Well, and there's this, like, need society has to have being uncomfortable with the raw emotions of other people and making them feel like they have to stuff down those feelings and just say that they're fine when they are not. And we need to be more comfortable with people saying, I'm not fine. Doesn't mean I want you to help me. I don't need you to feel sorry for me. I'm just not fine. Yeah. And that should be okay.
And that is the point of this podcast. Seriously, like, that's the whole reason I do this, is because we need to end the stigma of, like, being okay all the time.
I think it's fucking weird to be... I'm getting cold. I think it's weird to be fine all the time.
I don't know a single person that is fine all the time.
My therapist, maybe.
I don't trust her.
I don't know. I don't know. You know what? I'm still kind of teetering the lines of what is okay to talk. Like, I'm curious about her personal life, but I don't ask her about her personal life. Yeah. Because I don't want to lose my therapist, 1. And 2, like, I don't know where the line is. And so I just want to keep it weird to talk about my life. Yeah. Weird.
You're like, here for me.
Like, I even feel weird asking her about her cats when her cats run through sometimes because we FaceTimed a lot during COVID. So I'm just like, oh, what's your cat name? And I shouldn't ask her that. That's so unprofessional.
And she's like, what cat? What cat are you talking about, Laurell? I do want to ask you real quick, how important is it to establish a relationship with your therapist? Like, obviously not a close, not personal relationship where y'all hanging out and kikiing on the weekends, getting drunk, going out for mimosas. Because if you're doing that with your therapist, maybe you need a new therapist. But how important is that relationship in guiding you to the healing process or through the healing process?
First of all, it's important because you have to be comfortable in order to let down a lot of guards. If you're going to get to that point. I feel like most people that seek out therapy are seeking out therapy because they want healing. And you're not going to get healing if you're not honest with yourself. And you have to be honest with your therapist. And forthcoming with your therapist. Now, sometimes I be telling white lies up in there. I ain't going to lie.
You heard it here first, folks. Laurell lies to her therapist. That's shady.
It is though. But no, like, because sometimes I'm just not ready to like face stuff. Yeah. And she knows that. She knows that. And she doesn't push. She's not very pushy. But she definitely, she phrases things in a way to where I'm asking myself the questions. And once I start asking myself the questions, I'm like, wait a minute. You goddamn genius.
You might be onto something.
So, where was I going with that thought?
We were talking about
having a good relationship.
Yes,
with your
having a good
therapist.
relationship.
And it is,
being honest.
Yeah, it's good to have a good relationship with your therapist because you want, when you're healing, you want somebody to be honest with you. Like, no lie. I have a friend right now, and particularly this person is really, really, really struggling. However, on the other tip, you cannot be honest with this person. So this person stays stagnant all the time, making the same mistakes, making the same decisions. And it's just like, well, if somebody can be honest with you, maybe you can change some of the behaviors. Yeah. So I think that's where it comes, like with your therapist, you want to be honest with your therapist and you want to have that type of personal type level and feel like your therapist knows you because you can't change the behavior if the behavior is not, if you're not aware of the behavior. Yeah. So if you're not being honest with your therapist, you wasting your own time and your own money.
We kind of got away from it a little bit, but I do want to talk to you about the transition from being pregnant to being not pregnant and how that affected your mental health. I know pregnancy was rough, and I know things have gotten better, but how was the, immediate transition right after? It was hell. Yeah.
It was fucking hell. First of all, I had a very traumatic birth. We talked about that. Yes. So you're in the hospital for 3 days and it's a revolving door of people. So you're being told breastfeed every 2 hours, breastfeed on demand, but breastfeed on demand. Skin to skin contact, all of these things on top of the fact that your entire bottom just hurts. Yeah. Everything just hurts. It's bruised. It's sore. And essentially because I tore real bad. So I'm learning to use the bathroom because I can't really tell if what's happening down there. Yeah. I can't tell what's happening down there. The muscles are tore. You tore into the muscle. So I was struggling with all of that and having to
scuttle
to the bathroom on top of that and having to care for the baby. So while Barnes has a nursery that you can send your baby to, they have baby room with you. Oh. Now they don't send baby straight to the nursery. They have baby in the room with you the whole time. And you can ask to send the baby to the nursery. But she's in there the whole time.
I can see how that would be a good thing, but I also can definitely see, especially after what you experienced, how that could be a very bad thing. Yeah.
And so after being in labor for 18 hours and pushing for 4 hours, I was exhausted. I was so exhausted, but I still have to take care of this human. Yeah. And luckily, I have an amazing support system. I'll just say it. And I know, like, in recent years, like, I've had friends that have babies and kids and stuff, and they don't have husbands. They don't have support systems. So, like, I can only imagine that it's 10 times worse for them.
Yeah.
But that transition from being pregnant, like, and I mean, it felt like it went on forever. It really felt like it went on forever. And I'm getting to the point where I'm just now starting to feel a little bit normal. But it really felt like it went on forever because they don't tell you so much about birth.
Yeah.
You're not just bleeding heavily for up to 6 weeks. There's also, like, there's other fluids that you're leaking. And so, like, you're just always wet. You got this pad down there. They don't tell you that you possibly get diaper rash.
Now you're treating yourself and your baby for diaper rash.
I'm proud I've been keeping diaper rash off of her lately.
Yeah.
I mean, not lately, but
yeah, do that.
I'm real proud that my baby ain't had diaper rash.
Yeah.
But you're going through all of this stuff at the same time, and just those emotions of being a mother. It's something.
And I have to imagine your hormones are still like, because you just had a baby and like that hasn't righted itself yet.
It's like, and it's such a fast shift.
Yeah, you don't get a pause between having to take the baby home.
It's not something that slowly happens, and that's why they say to check for postpartum depression up to 3 years. You can have postpartum depression.
Ooh.
And it can come at any moment.
That I did not know. Wow.
Yes, it can come at any moment. Postpartum depression. There's also, you can get preeclampsia after the baby. A whole bunch of other stuff they don't tell you about. And so, like, it is weird because, like, I felt like my body was not my own. Like, it just wasn't my body. And putting on clothes after was hard too. Because my jeans didn't fit. I was just like, okay, I'm gonna have this baby, and everything just gone
snatch back.
And that did not happen. And so now I'm in this process of loving my body where it is now. And trying my best to love my body where it is now, because I'm so used to being thin. Which apparently everybody say I look good for somebody that just had a baby.
I think you do look good.
So now that's where it is, and just feeling normal. Now my boobs she ain't going back.
Ain't no snapback.
So, I mean, that's one of the things that I just have to mourn the loss of. I'm a big chested woman now.
That's who I am.
So
yeah. I don't know why I feel like Jennifer Coolidge. Yeah.
So, I mean, but I also remember feeling really grateful. Like, this is how I grounded myself during it, because I was like, I'm experiencing something new as far as womanhood. I'm in a new stage of womanhood. And I remember crying about just being happy that I'm seriously, like, I'm experiencing motherhood now. I'm experiencing something different now. And I remember talking to John's mom about it. And I was just like, because she was asking me how I was. And I was just like, actually, it feels real refreshing to be experiencing this new stage of life. I was like, my crotch hurts and all this stuff like that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, being honest, like, my crotch hurt, my chest was leaking. She's screaming. But it's also a beautiful experience. Because I'm entering a new phase of womanhood. Not saying that women that don't.
Yeah, but this is a different experience. It's
a different experience. Yeah, it's a real different experience. So that's kind of how I grounded myself and just reminded myself that life changes.
Did y'all catch the criminal or no?
So it's just a different experience.
I am so proud of you. And
I did it.
You did it. And like, you have just, like I said earlier, as much of a different person as you are, you've remained like the same.
Oh.
Like you just, I don't know, you just radiate a brighter, stronger energy, but you've kept like the L'Oreal about it. I don't know how to make that sound flowery and like I'm usually good with words, but I can't string those words together today.
It's okay. It's okay. I've seen that people have a great difficulty trying to describe me as a person.
Yeah. But it's not that it's hard to describe you as a person. I'm struggling with articulating exactly what is in my brain at the moment.
Trying to just see what did she call me asymmetrical or symmetrical?
Your therapist?
No, not my therapist.
Oh, I was like, that's a weird therapy trick.
And I couldn't tell if she was talking about my face or my personality.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just like, either way, I like the way that word.
Yeah. I could see it being asymmetrical.
Yeah, I think that's what she said.
Because it's not the same all the time, but it is, but it's not. I don't know. Child, listen. So I want to deviate a little bit from motherhood and talk to you about the artist side of yourself, because you are an artist and a creative.
Oh, Lord.
An incredibly talented actress in my presence. Phenomenal. I mean, like, can't get enough.
I feel like when I'm disciplined, I'm amazing.
Yeah.
When I'm disciplined.
Well, we all are. If you let an actor off the rails and let them do what they want to do, it's gonna be some shit. They need direction. Talk to me a little bit about how, I almost said therapy again. Girl, we've been there. Talk to me a little bit how acting or being in the theater space helped you through some of the tougher years of life.
Ooh. I think with therapy is that your stomach, mine?
That's mine.
Okay.
Yeah. I was saying right before you came, I was like, damn, I'm hungry.
I think with theater, I've always been able to just turn off the outside noise, step into a different space, because like even with people in them, theaters are very quiet spaces. They're quiet, dark spaces.
Yeah.
And then once the lights are down and the stage lights come up, you can immerse yourself somewhere else and be somewhere else and just forget for a really long time. And for a really long time, like I autopiloted myself, because there was a time when like, you know, like I was going to flow and I was just doing show. I was able just to go there and turn off everything else. Like there was a point where I was literally sleeping in the green room in between classes because that's just where I felt safe. And it just gave me that space to be something different than I already was, which is insane because I think L'Oreal in general she aight.
I like her.
And I struggle with that a lot. I struggle with liking her a lot. But being able to go somewhere else and be someone else, and everybody notices me. I'm gonna be honest about it. Because growing up, I wasn't noticed. So it's just like, I'm gonna do this thing, and people notice that, and they notice that it's good, and they're telling me that it's good. So I'm just gonna keep on doing this thing, and it's gonna keep making me feel good. And there was a point where it wasn't making me feel good anymore.
Been there.
I can't remember if we talked about it or not, but Taylor was just like, you seem real angry, and we can see it on stage.
We did talk about that. Yeah.
Yes. And I think that's when I was just like, okay, well, I'm gonna go and get therapy because this is my thing.
This is the thing that's keeping me sane, and if it's leaking into that,
then it's not good.
It's not good. Yep.
Then it's not good for me. And that was the conversation, was just like, I'm your friend, I care about you. Something isn't right.
Yeah.
And those type of conversations, woo. You know, because for a minute I was, how dare you?
You don't know not right from wrong.
Don't you science me?
Yeah, it's hard when people in your corner start to ask you about how you are. That's when you know it's really like, oh shit, maybe I should look into this.
Yep.
Maybe something. You might be on to something.
And not just that, but like, we don't talk like that.
Yeah, that is very true.
We don't talk like that. And for him to come out and say that to me, it meant a lot. Not only did it mean a lot, but I was just like, okay, well, maybe I need to figure out something. And I feel like at the time, the people that I was doing theater with, those were the people that were seeing the most of me. Because there was a time where I just like disappeared off the face of the earth.
Yes, that is true.
When I just disappeared off the face of the earth, and theater was the only time anyone saw me. And I'm glad I have that space, because I do feel like it is very easy for me to close myself off. And I'm being honest about that nowadays. And I haven't figured out exactly what that is, but theater is definitely an outlet for it.
Yeah.
So
I agree. I relate to that. I started doing theater. I've probably told this story a bajillion times, because I didn't want to be myself, because my home life was so shit. And because it's not that I didn't like who I was as a human. I didn't like who I was up here. And I needed an escape from that. And so I was like, maybe if I do this, I used to enjoy it when I was a kid. I always was doing something funny, or being in a play or church plays or whatever. And yeah, I did church plays. Me. I know, it's weird to think about, but I was in at least one
talk about
church
it after
play.
today.
I was in, and I helped write it. It was not good.
Was there music?
No.
Oh,
no.
Okay.
Well,
Okay.
it was
Okay.
not
I'll give you that.
It wasn't a musical, but it was definitely a low budget church play for sure. That lady really thought she was a writer. Anyway, so I was like, this is something that I've enjoyed. Maybe if I try this, it'll help me kind of escape. And it turned into definitely an escape, and definitely a way to heal. But it also turned into a way to help others heal. And so theater is really, y'all, if you ain't been to a play, go to a play.
Go see a play.
Go see a play. Just like,
I've been dying to use that bumper sticker. I got it. As soon as I get a car.
As soon as I get a vehicle. It's gonna be like that meme that, who is that? Is that Billy? Not Billy Crystal. What's the
tape guy?
Billy Mays, yeah. And slap that on there. Yeah. But for truly, like, theater really is such a powerful tool, and such a cathartic, just,
It is. It really, really is.
I love it. I'm starting to miss it. I know. Somebody around town got to do a show that's going to be worth my time, though. Like,
yeah. That's how I normally feel. That's literally how I feel.
Like, I did my time of doing the little cutesy whatever, and that's not to say that I wouldn't do those plays again. Though they're fun to do, they're easy, they're mindless, but like, I need something that's going to make me feel, so that I can make other people feel.
Yeah, I just want to be challenged. I want to be challenged.
I want to be a villain again. That's really what I want.
It is fun.
Let me
tell you something. I didn't know. My Infinite Sadness was so fun. It was so fun.
You were so...
And people was like, I hated you. I was like, yes.
Thank you. That's exactly the response I wanted. That was me after Titus Andronicus.
Yeah.
Yep. I'm like, you were so horrible. And I'm like, thank you. Yes. Speaking of my Infinite Sadness.
Yes.
We'll have to discuss some things about that.
Okay.
For the near future. I have some very exciting things that I want to do with that show, and I absolutely 100% want you to be involved.
Of course.
Laurell was in the original cast. She played You, which is the physical representation of depression. And I mean, just...
I feel like more people should have seen that show. I hate that it was January. I know it's your birthday.
I was like...
But that snowstorm really just...
Yeah, the snowstorm the first weekend really, really tore us up. But the second weekend we had really good crowds.
We did.
Second weekend we had really good crowds. And it didn't get as much notice at Fringe either. And I was like a nice amount of people came to see it, but not enough. And that's not me being like, oh, you got to see my show. Like there is a very important message in the show that I want people to receive, and it's that you're not alone.
Yeah, I mean, but everybody that saw it responded really well to it. So
yeah, talk to me about that process. How was that for you? I know for me it was very cathartic, but...
Depression personified for me. I think that's a lot of what I was doing was what my depression sounds like to me in my head. Mm-hmm. And I just... What would that person be like? Mm-hmm. And I just went with that. That's what just felt natural to me. And I went with that. You had no problems with it. You said no to chain smoking.
Yeah, but, no.
But
that was...
I'm like, can I chain smoke?
I forgot all about that. I was like, no. Why? I mean, maybe, but like, maybe for this new installment.
No, I don't think I would ever do that because I would have to smoke.
You can get the fake ones, but also no, it's not a part of the story.
It's not. Sometimes I do too much. Sometimes I do.
But as directors, we want the actors to make choices, and that was a choice.
Yeah, I remember I added sunglasses to a costume. They were like, "What? It's nighttime. What are you doing?" I just thought that she would have on shades.
People wear shades at nighttime.
That was young L'Oreal. She was wildin'.
Sunglasses at night. What's that song? I wear my sunglasses at night so I can.
But yeah, that's kind of just where I went with it. Mm-hmm. And it felt real, real good because I was just like, people are seeing this, they're thinking about it, they're having a conversation. Mm-hmm. And that's what ultimately I think the goal was. Yeah. To start the conversation. Yeah. And I think it also put it in a different light for some people. Yeah. Because some people just see it as, oh, I'm just sad. And it's more than that. It's really, really more than just being sad. If I was just sad, bitch, I'd just go to the bar and get a drink. Yeah. It's way more than that.
I'd play a video game if I was just sad. Like, I would eat. Like, it's so deep, so much deeper than that. I was about to ask you something. Are you gonna come back out into the theater world soon? I know the baby is fresh. The bun is fresh out of the oven.
I have 2 auditions this month.
Word.
Which I do need to get headshots for. Mm-hmm. But I do have 2 auditions this month.
We'll see.
I didn't want to stay gone for too long. Mm-hmm. Because I feel like I was just getting the groove. Mm-hmm. And then it was just like, bam, baby.
No, I will not. I will not.
Because Triassic Park was so hard on me. It was so hard on me, baby. Like, my morning sickness was so bad. Like, I didn't even think that I was going to be able to pull it off.
Yeah, I remember seeing that. Oh, sorry. That you were casting that, and I was like, how far along is she? Okay. Got my eyes on you.
Far along to the point where towards the end, like when we're doing like dancing and stuff, like I was sick. Like I would push myself so hard and then I would go home and I would just be like have to pass out because I would be so sick. And also just like not really want to tell people how sick I was. But like it came to a point where we were just like at a certain point in the opening monologue I did not have down. Which, so sorry, Gary. I'm so sorry. I did not have that open monologue down, and he was just like, it's the first page. And I was just like, but I've been throwing up.
It's been really
hard. But I mean, I pushed myself through it. I really, really did. Because, like, I wanted it.
Yeah.
I really, really wanted it. And, like, I didn't want to be the person that got replaced and then talked about. So I did what I had to do to get where I needed to be.
Mm-hmm. We love the strength.
Thanks.
But also, it's okay if you need to step away.
But also, like, I think Jurassic Park was something Justin had asked me to do literally the last week of maybe 2 weeks of Good People. Mm-hmm. And I was just like, yep. He was just like, it's got dinosaurs, they grow penises. And I was just like, say more.
Is that what that show was about?
Did you? Oh, you didn't see it?
I didn't get a chance to see it, no.
It's about the dinosaurs of Jurassic Park. Mm-hmm. But they can't call it Jurassic Park because they might get sued.
Of course.
Let's actually use the song. But yes, it's about that. And then they all start growing penises. And then, yes.
I should have auditioned for that show.
It was amazing.
So
also, I think you would have made a good Morgan Freeman.
Oh, of course.
But yeah, you should audition for that show. It was actually amazing. And it was so much fun to do. So the cast was amazing.
Yeah.
And, you know, and I got to do a show finally with Rachel Bailey.
Yeah.
So it ended up being a lot of fun.
Yeah, she's great.
Yeah.
I love her.
So.
Sweet. I have one final question for you. Never mind. Just kidding.
I'm here to answer questions.
Here on Mental Health Check Monday, our motto, like I said in the intro, is turning mental illness into mental wellness.
Okay.
What does mental wellness look like to you?
What does it look like to me?
Or feel like, or sound like? What is your definition of mental wellness?
You know what? I don't think there's any one way to be mentally well. Mm-hmm. I feel like life is always going to have its challenges and it's always going to have its stresses. It's how strategic. I
got you.
Yeah. I think it's how you deal with it and how you navigate through life. I feel, because I think a happy person is actually terrifying. Like a completely happy person.
Every day of the week, 365 days a year, you happy?
All the time. It's giving cult. It's
giving drug addiction. No, I'm just kidding. It is definitely giving cult. Like,
it's giving cult.
Scary, creepy.
It's giving Christian love.
Yeah, it's giving
missionary work.
It's giving trips to Uganda.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
to help the people.
So I think there's no one way to do it. I just think it's different for everybody. Mm-hmm. And whatever you can do to live a happy and successful life without damage to yourself and others, I feel like then you're on the right track.
Beautiful. I love that. I love that everybody's answer has been different too. It's interesting to hear what everybody has to say and how they feel about mental wellness. My actual final question for you.
Okay.
Is to leave us with a bit of advice for allies. How can they be in our corner? What can they do to be there for us, to support us?
Shut up. I know you're laughing, but I mean that.
I'm laughing because that has been the answer from everybody.
Get out.
I'm dead ass. From myself included.
I thought I was saying something so deep.
No, it is deep. It truly is deep. Like, that's why so many people have said it. Because, carry on. No, because you are about to give the whole reason.
Yeah, shut up. Give people the space to talk. Mm-hmm. You've had the space for so long, and you continue to hold the space. It's time to talk about something different. Mm-hmm. And we can't do that with you talking over us. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So that is my advice. And reparations.
Yes, absolutely. And this is going to be the last episode of Black History
And
Month,
reparations.
So. And I ain't talking about no 40 acres and a mule. I'm talking about
randomly Venmo your friend right now. Right now.
Your nearest black friend $400. Ain't high. If you can't afford her,
she need the funds.
She do. Oh my God. Do you want to plug anything? Do you have anything that you need to plug right now? Social media, anything like that?
I don't have anything I need to plug for myself at all. But while we're on the subject of mental health, Shrinking on Apple Plus.
Ooh.
Watch it. Jason Segel. It's very, very good. Watch it.
Is it a TV series or is it like a docuseries?
It's a TV series.
Okay. Shrinking. We're gonna have to add that to our list.
Shrinking. Do you guys have Apple Plus? What stuff are you watching on Apple Plus? Because I got a whole list for you.
Because of this thing.
Let me see. I'm going to show you what stuff you need to watch.
Yeah, you do that. And while you do that, I'm going to outro. Thank you all so much for tuning into this episode. L'Oreal, thank you for being here. And thank you for loading me up with some shows to watch. Because I was, we always looking for something to watch. I will see you all in the next episode. Every single Monday, there will be a Mental Health Chat Monday. Make sure you tune in, you're subscribed, and all that good stuff. If you want to find me, like I said, I'm at DDare Bionic on everything. You can find me on all the social media. And go and like the Mental Health Chat Monday Facebook page, please, and thank you. And I will see you all next week. Bye.
Bye.